I think I got like a bit overconfident with it and just was pushing things I shouldn't push. You know,
Right.
triple blinking at people,
Mm.
and then dying for it. And then I told myself to slow down third round, and it was all good. So
Is there a particular? Does that happen often? Like you sort of going.
yeah, it's a problem that happens. So like I find either a team starts trickling and then I'll try to like set up, but I'll be too far forward or something and get caught.
Right.
Uh, or uh, we're winning. It's going really well, and so I'll start playing more aggressively because I'm just not thinking about it at that point.
Yeah. Right.
Uh, and it's absolutely cost me a game, 100%.
Right. I asked that because it's a very common thing with tracer players where normally I like drawing out this graph to sort of explain it, but often this happens either like when you're in a 5v4 or just when you've got some kind of advantage in general. So when I say 5v4, I often mean like when you get a killer tracer, or an advantage can
Yeah,
just be you force out the enemy tracer recall, or you've got a ton of space to work with, or whatever the case may be. And two
yeah,
things
and then
either
you want to
happen.
go and you waste too
Right.
many resources and just eat shit.
Yeah. There's like two ends of the spectrum here that players often do. The left end is like doing nothing basically, and just like AFKing. Um, and the right side, all the way over here, is you int and you feed. Basically, and players will often bounce between either ends of the spectrum here, basically all the time. But based on personality, players will either do one more than the other, so it sounds like we're on this end of the spectrum more than this end, or the
Uh,
left end.
well, start of this game, I was definitely on the first side of the spectrum there because
Yeah.
we lose a few fights in a row before like I'll kill someone, but it'll be at the end of the fight when it's already too late. You
Right,
know,
right, right. And
and
that's the
I get
yeah.
into the flow of it, and then I go to the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah. And it's like they players will like flock between either side, and obviously the ideal situation is that there's a happy gray area in the middle between us, which
Yeah,
I normally just describe as pushing slowly or pushing um pushing with low risk basically. Because obviously if you
mm,
have an advantage, push it generally, right? But if your team if either you can't push it because you're low resource or like you're low HP or whatever, or your team can't push it for whatever reason, then don't push it. Or if it's too risky to push, then stabilize and then you can push afterwards. But this is like that sort of happy medium over here that players forget to do. And it's really common with tracer players. It's common with Genji players too, that they'll get a kill or they'll do well
yeah, and
essentially.
they've got a dash reset, and they're like, all right, time to go
Exactly right.
again.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It happens so often, and it's like a little. It's good to hear that you are like the fact that you're even aware that this is an issue, and especially when you're playing the game too, is good because the way you fix it is awareness. Like you have to be aware that you're doing this sort of thing in the first place to sort of fix it because it is very easy to fix if you're aware of it. You just don't do anything. You just chillax for a second, basically. Or you
yeah,
just look around and regain awareness. So it is really easy to fix. But the hard part is realizing you're doing it in the first place. But yeah, and it carries all the way to like GM and high level players too. But yeah, we'll see how this game goes. General micro, of course, like blink management. Are we wasting blinks? Are we using cover well? Um, are we blink
um,
meleeing in open space, stuff like that? There you go.
definitely, it's something I'm aware of, but I fuck up the cover usage all the time. Uh,
Right.
I'll I'll want to fight someone and I'll blink to their side, but in front of one of their teammates. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
It's one of those
I get away
things.
with a lot in this game. I'm not gonna lie. Like this one's,
I mean, it sounds like you've been having easy games, right? Like that you've been
yeah,
winning a decent amount. I mean,
yeah. I
what
lost a lot at the start of the season and
right?
fell to the bottom of diamond. And last few days I've been playing again,
Hmm.
and I've just been winning like
Hmm.
everything.
I had this tracer player who they had like two sets of lobbies and they were like a high GM tracer player and basically they had either low GM lobbies and in these kind of lobbies they would stomp like they could play off of their instinct and they could just do whatever they want and walk around wherever they want and outduel any tracer without thinking twice. But then they would get high level lobbies or higher GM lobbies and this had like OWCS players in them and this is where they started to struggle a lot obviously For two reasons.
Yeah.
Firstly, you can't. The instinct wasn't good enough to play off that in the sort of elo because they're against Adobe CS players. So you've got better instinct. And secondly, they couldn't even think. They couldn't even slow down because if you're playing slower or you're having more time to think against high level players, you're going to lose. You're going to get engaged on, and you're just going to lose over time slowly. So the solution that I gave him that seemed to work well was that when you are in these lobbies that are relatively easy for you or relatively low skill, or lobbies where you can just almost turn your brain off and just sort of win the game. You haven't really got to try that hard. In these kind of lobbies, this is the exact time you start thinking more because you have more time to think in lobbies where you find it way easier to play Tracer into. And the mistake players often do is that they will autopilots in these low level games where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
get this win anyways because I know I'm playing against bad players, so I'm just gonna turn my brain off, you know? And it really hurts when you get into these lobbies, when you matchmake into lobbies that are typically higher than you punch above your weight, basically. And yeah, it's what I often tell players. It worked well for him, and he started playing better in high GM after he started treating these lobbies more seriously. Um, but yeah, it will hurt. Like it'll do you well in the short term to like win these games and vibe or whatever. But when you do eventually punch above your weight, it's going to hurt. So yeah, use these lobbies to think about more about your cover, for example, you know. And I guess
Yeah,
the
that
last
makes
thing about
sense.
I go on.
No, that's. I was just saying that that makes sense. Yeah, I just get a lot away with a lot here, and then I get overconfident,
Yeah.
confident for a bit,
Um,
and yeah,
I know I always say players do bad habits in low elo. Like again, we'll do things that we'll do things that on paper shouldn't work, but because you're in the elo that you're at, they will just work. And that will of course will reinforce bad habits. So that's why it's so
yeah,
important to be conscious about what you're doing, and even in low elo games. The second thing about cover usage, it's like there's no real easy way of working on it, unfortunately. And what I mean by that is you'll dual tracers across different places on different maps in different situations, and the more reps you'll have dueling a certain tracer in a certain area, the easier it'll become. Is the thing. So I said this to a tracer on Hollywood, but it could even be here on King's Road too, right? Like you could be dueling a tracer. I don't know, somewhere like around the statue, for example, right? And maybe again, you'll more naturally use cover without even thinking about it. The more times you play tracers in or around the statue, and then of course, then that relates back to the instinct thing, where you'll just instinctually use cover all the time. If you find you basically fight tracer players around cover and position all the time. So cover is something that will be improved the more you just think about it in when you're dueling a tracer and the more reps you have in a certain area, right? So if you duel tracer 1,000 times by a statue, you'll get better by that 1,000th time. It's just kind of how it just works, and it's why tracer players, like the old guard of players, basically like Kevstone and whatnot, like they're still really good at the game because they have so many reps playing against tracers in so many different locations. But yeah, okay, we'll see how it pans out here. Sure, that's fine. And anyway, macro as well. Nothing crazy. Just make sure that again, whenever you're dueling Tracer or even Echo, you're within your team's LOS. It's kind of the main thing. Especially considering you're playing. It looks like you're playing for your Ash value in this comp. Considering they're playing Echo Tracer. So if you can again mark out their Tracer in LOS of your Ash, that's really powerful. So it seems like you're doing that right now. Fairly reasonable. Okay, draw. You get Yang shots. Fine. Take away. It's fine.
and then I'm out of the fight long enough here where I think we lose it before I really get back in.
Hmm. The Wu Yang thing or the Wu Yang pick is like really annoying because he's the first character in the game that makes cover usage really like not that makes cover unimportant, but it decreases the importance of using cover because of course he can bend his shots around corners, which is really annoying.
Yeah,
There's not really much counterplay you can do, especially in a situation like this where this is reasonable, right? We're shooting an echo, that's fine. Maybe that blink there was a little bit less reasonable, we could just get the mini anyways, right? Maybe you see the Wuyang here, then you D-peek, it's the only thing you could have done here, after you see the Wuyang shot go past you. But barring that, there's not really much else you can do. The really important Wuyang micro is avoiding the wave, is what you can do. And we'll see how that pans out if you do end up doing a Wuyang. Because if you avoid the wave, he's very killable. But if you get hit by the wave, it's probably a equal force. So yeah.
yeah.
I've just heard that he just used wave here, I think. Yeah, you just use wave. So that's also a nice sound cue you can look for as well. A little like ding sound effect when he hits the ground with his wave. Okay, sure. Whoa, I'm not a fan of this. So shooting Echo is fine. I'm actually okay with this. It's fine. Sure, right? Watch this
But I
with
don't need to
this.
blink in on him with 0 blinks.
Yes, right. And
Yeah.
this, I'm not sure if I've talked to you about this specifically, but it is such a bad habit. And I literally, I had like a sentence, or I briefly mentioned it a few minutes ago. But blink abilities on Tracer are like the devil incarnate on this character. And I know there's a perk that people can pick that has gotten a little bit more popularity about, you can get ammo back on reload. Oh, sorry, I mean ammo back
Yeah.
on melee.
I tried it for a bit. I ended up going back to the health pack perk.
Yeah, yeah.
Specifically because when I was dueling other tracers, they would just like pick up a health pack and then keep going, and I couldn't catch them.
Right,
You know?
right. It's very much a comp dependent or a map dependent thing. Like if they haven't got a tracer player and you're on a map where there's not many packs, then kinetic is probably a bit better. But yeah, on a map like this or Route 66 or maybe even a Hollywood and you're dueling tracers, then yeah, the pack perk will make more sense. But this is like this habit is so bad, and it's like even Kevstar, I've seen tracer players do this habit since like 2018 because everyone does blink melees, and this is muscle memory at this point. But the reason why blink minis are so bad is that A, you have to use a blink, obviously, right? Which is not great all the time. B, you're often putting yourself in open space, which you are right now. And C, you're putting yourself really close, in close proximity, which is not great.
Yeah.
Because this Echo can just turn around, headshot you with a tri-shot, and then melee you, and then one-shot you practically, right? Or at least get your reforced out, which is the fourth reason. Above all these combined, basically, is that you get your reforce forced out, which is not ideal here. So this is why I just hate blink melees. The only time a blink melee is fine is if it's literally to finish a kill. Like if this Echo's like 1 HP, sure, then you can go for it, right? Or if you're against a Tracer and she's 1 HP and you want to force recall, sure, that's fine as well. But barring those two situations, don't do blink melees. And it's one of those things that is just such muscle memory that even me saying
Yeah,
it
that's gonna be hard to unlearn.
right, because it's muscle memory.
Because so often, yeah, I'll just do it.
And it's like we use a blink and we're in open space, and we have to use blink to avoid the echo, Whereas if you just literally AFK'd here and took a little bit of time, you could blink over here or blink in this little corridor, chillax for a moment, and then maybe peek out, and then you still have a blink, right? And then you've got way more options here with what you want to do. You can either chase echo and just go for the kill, which is fine potentially, or you can open up your angle and go for the backline potentially, which also would be okay here too. Considering the Riang is fairly low, and with that wave as well. But yeah, the reason why it's so bad is, of course, it just means that you have to waste more blinks, and there's a higher chance you get reforced out. So yeah, that's fine. But yeah, okay. Why do you go all the way into the stairway here?
I think I was wanting to see if I could catch the Wu Yang just like without him realizing that I'm there. But I could have just walked up and seen the Kiri below me.
Right.
And started shooting at either of them.
Right. So this is an important thing with Tracer. Or not Tracer, but Flex DPS especially. Well, not even Flex DPS, but part of this is Flex DPS specific. But regaining awareness in mid-fight is like, it's such an important thing. And all that really means.
Yeah, I mean, I do realize that the Kiriko's there because I go down. Because if I had walked forward, I didn't know the Kiriko was there until after. But...
and the thing is, you can't see anything here. Is the issue, right? Like you just don't know who's there, and which is fine. Like it means that you're not taking damage here.
For it, but
like this is fine, right? But, like you should be regaining awareness now after you get this kill, and I often say like after you get a kill, and you'll get, of course, if you're playing Tracer, you'll get kills often, right? Then that causes you. This should cause you to look around, right? Like your brain should be like, okay, I've gotten the kill. Now it's time to look around. It's kind of that habit that needs to be formed here. And all you can do is just literally just peek over the edge. That's it. And HP wise, I know you're missing 50 HP. It would have been fine to just double check here if you wanted to get the mega and then come back. That's okay. I wouldn't mind that. But on that spectrum thing, we're definitely going on this end where we're doing nothing right now. After a kill for sure. Okay. Okay, no Suzu. And yeah, I mean, the Kyoko leaves you thankfully, so you're able to go on Wu Yang here. But yeah, of
But
course
unfortunately, the fight's over now.
yeah, right. Like your Ryan ends up dying because you're doing nothing as a result, right? You could have even
Yeah.
pressured out the Wu Yang or Kiri. Maybe your Ryan lives there, or gets an easier time living, or maybe they need to put more resources into killing the Ryan, whatever the case may be. But yeah, now this Wu Yang duel. Let's see. Okay, so this blink here is okay in the context that this guy can't get empowered shots onto you. Why might this blink though be slightly problematic?
I'm visible to Kiriko right now, and people to my right who I'm unclear on like who's there. I
Alright,
know there's a
so
tracer over there, but
open space is
I
the
don't know
obvious bit,
exactly.
right? What
Yeah.
else? What about cooldown specifically that this guy might have?
Uh, you could have wave.
He could have wave, right?
Um, yeah, because
Yeah,
yeah,
he's got wave, you know? So, like, and again, like, 80 damage up close, and he boops you, and he might get an empowered shot, like, this is probably going to be a reforce. So this is why I don't mind blinking close to Wu Yang specifically, but you need to make sure that he hasn't got wave. Or, you need to make sure that you're purposely baiting out the wave to begin with. If you were wanting to blink this close, right? So maybe you blink here, blink to the left side of the statue, and then shoot Wu Yang a little bit. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he waves. That's fine, this blink's reasonable then. Waves, yeah, there we go. Okay. Sure. Fine, I get you're scared of the Kiri top right here,
yeah.
so that's
I'm
fine.
just worried about the Kiri and the tracers coming over now too.
That's reasonable. Fine. Sure. Sure. Here, what can you do here? After you realize that Wu Yang's a bit too far away.
I could probably go right back into the room
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
try to get out.
It's probably your main way of living this, right? You try and create distance, you rotate,
Yeah.
maybe you get a second touch here, maybe. I doubt that's the case, right? But the point being is that you keep your angle here. You could maybe go back here and back upstairs, right? Maybe that's a reasonable thing to do. But I think right side is the obvious bit here. Where you can just keep your angle. So you end up blinking into a wall, and now you're gonna die. Probably. Yeah. You might be cooked. I'm surprised you're living right now. If ever shook, okay, they just give you the space, alright, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately, I don't get the ability to touch there.
Yeah.
But I do just live back here.
Right. Okay. I'm not so sure about going for this trade. Right now, I get you get the kill, right? But this is why, in principle, really important to...
Yeah, like, in theory, this is terrible. I'm
Right.
putting myself in open space. There's an Echo shooting at me the entire time.
Right.
I'm
Now-
just sort of running it down on a Wu Yang.
There is a fine line here, right? Where
They're,
Yang...
they're engaged. They're fighting my team.
Yeah,
but...
they're fighting your team, and Wu Yang hasn't got any CDs anymore. He's actually used wave because he saw like the little amp thing, the little
Yeah.
the heal bar thing, which implies that he's used Guardian Wave, and he also uses dashes too. So it is fairly reasonable in the situation or in the case that hey, like he's got no CDs, I'm gonna go for this kill, and I'm in a good position, and the traces they're engaging onto my team. So in that situation here, I think that's fairly reasonable. But it's like, it's more so the value of getting this kill is what I'm considering, right? Because sure, you get this kill, right? But it's gonna, you might as well just stay here anyways. Like, the kill doesn't really mean anything. It spawns over here, and you give up your position on high ground for it, right? So it's more so the value of the kill rather than playing off triggers. Because there were triggers. Like the team was engaged, Riang no CDs, Riang open space, right? There were triggers for that kill, but it's mostly just bigger picture stuff. But yeah. The Echo chases you? No way. You could maybe even duel the Echo here, honestly. Like, you got Pulse Bomb as well. You could even duel the Echo here for sure. Like, I wouldn't even mind if you did that. And then literally go back to that spawn. And play off the spawn. Like, Echo should, like... she uses Fly here as well, which is insane. Like, if you duel the Echo, she can't escape. Because she's already used Fly.
Yeah. No, I should have just stayed in there.
Yeah. I think after you... Okay, okay. But, yeah, after you hear the Echo Fly, I think I would have definitely reasonable to take that duel for sure.
Yeah, I think it was just that I didn't have recall, so I didn't really want to take a fight.
Right.
But
I mean, yeah, I think I would have at least gone for the poster. Sure. Okay, we'll see here. Okay. Everything's fine.
I
I
should have blinked first instead of
ah. So
starting to
like,
shoot.
this always happens. Always, like, this pretty much
Yeah.
always happens. And
No, this is one I've been working on. I need to blink and then shoot rather than just shooting first. And I'm
right,
taking a bunch of damage.
I it's it's not even necessarily. I mean, let's look at where you blink to, right? So obviously, I mean the blink ability thing, number one, right? And
Yeah.
secondly, of course, you take damage before you end up blinking, right? But it's not even that necessarily. It's more so the bigger psychology of fighting this echo to begin with. And I see this all the time, right? Because now you're pathing well, right? This is good pathing. You're unscouted mainly by the enemy team here because the building's covering you. So that angle's good itself, right? But it's more so forcing this duel upon yourself when you don't really need to. In other words, you can get good damage onto this echo while not putting yourself in danger. You can actually blink back. And this is a huge skill. I might even link the video afterwards to you. That went over this idea by Capitology. But it's this huge skill of Tracer Genji players being incapable of not fighting an angle and actually playing back and holding their line almost. And this is really important. Where if you can just blink back here, the Echo can't fight you. Like, she literally can't. And the duel is on your terms. And you can fight off this Echo by playing the cover well and by baiting her to come into you, right? So, I would have actually much preferred you to actually play way slower here, blink back, play by this cover, let Echo come into you, and then, of course, you can peek the corner, shoot the Echo, and duel her because the duel's in your favor on Tracer vs Echo. The duel's going to be in your favor generally. But it's forcing this, which is like really problematic here, and not blinking back and playing a little bit slower. And essentially not the skill of not fighting immediately is really important, especially if there was a Kiri here as well or a Wu Yang on this angle here too. Like even more so the case where you need to blink back and not fight, because this is a duel that's being forced essentially. Luckily, the Kiri is with you, and Echo leaves, so you got the flank. Okay, sure. Okay, fine. Sure, yeah, team's already... Fight's already over, basically. Yeah. And this is where it gets a little bit rough micro-wise, right? Right, we blink...
Like, coming back here was fine. I shouldn't have blinked into it. I should have started shooting.
And these moves are fine to get closer, right? But also, like, look at the team fight, you know? Like, kills have been done. It's a 5v3. You can take your time, you know? There's not, like, some sort of greater clock thing, or like, oh, I need to get kills right now. My team's... your team's fine. Team's fine. So again, that awareness and, like, understanding the tempo of this duel is really important. And whether you really need to be fighting this as hard as you are right now. But yeah. Blink forward there, not great. This blink is more reasonable. Fine, sure, Ryan's with you. Now you can push forward, nice. Blink meter there was okay, just a bit of distance there. Just be cool, fine. Fine. Sure, a little bit clunky melee there, but it's fine. I think it's fine. Sure. I'd be quick though. Yeah, so like, my only thing is like, can the Riang see you? Or is the Riang looking at you?
No.
No. Right, so I think it's actually reasonable you can go through her instead, right? Now if he sees you, sure, blink out, don't fight this, right? Of course. But take it when you can, because he's not looking at you, right? So yeah, I get the reason to go for this right flank, but yeah, a bit too late. Especially considering your Ryan was already really close to you. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I should have just stayed up there.
Yeah, stay. Yeah. Like the fight's over. It's your front line's gone. Your front line's dead. You know, you're on a good angle, right?
Yeah.
So like, just stay here. Especially when Tracer's coming back too. And you get knifed. Oh my word! Don't tell me we die here. We're gonna get forced out. But yeah, not particularly great. Let's see here. In a good position. Okay. Okay. Okay, how far? Hang on, I need to see where your team's playing first. I've got overlay off. Where's your team? We are really far away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do know that they're duplicating right now. Like, there's a duplicate on the high ground here, so it's not terrible, because there's some engagement going on here, in fairness, so it's not terrible. But I think you can play a little bit slower here. Like, Cart's not even near capping. Again, this feels forced to me. Where we're peeking into what? A Tracer plus a Wu Yang here too? Like, we're at least,
Yeah.
you know, best case scenario, we're getting 2v1 here, you know? So at least give it
Yeah,
a
I'm
little bit
most
of time.
likely getting recall force pretty quick there.
Right. So give it some time. You got a little bit of cot to play, right? So give it some time, then you can touch. It's not the worst timing in the world. It's not great either. But yeah. Okay. I will get these blinks here too. So blink there's fine. Flip's fine actually. A little bit of bad trick spin there, but it's fine. We blink to cover. Sure. Blink away, fine. Blink to the left, good. Sure. Timing's reasonable. I say timing's reasonable, right? But do you need to go right now?
Do I need to go right now? Yeah, I think so. Because my team's like full in. Ryan's trying to push up to actually get to the cart, I think.
Right, so I actually think you
The
can.
Bob.
I'm being a little bit nitpicky with timing here, right? But I essentially want you to go in just a second after your bob goes in, right? So everyone's looking at your. I don't know where the bob. The bob's over here, actually.
Just
right?
a little longer.
Just a little longer, basically, right? Is my main thing. So that everyone's looking at the bob and the bob can essentially tank for you, basically. But yes, that's my only real complaint about the timing here.
Yeah.
Angle itself is
I
good.
could have waited until I got that blink.
Right,
too.
right. Blink is fine. Do you avoid the Weang wave? It doesn't hit you at all, right? So my only complaint
Yeah,
is, again, you've got no blinks. Well, you've got 3 blinks here. And to give yourself more time, right? Better timing means your engage is obviously better, right? But secondly, you've got more time to recharge blinks here. So you can avoid the Weang wave. Because this blink is fine if you can avoid the Weang wave. But of course, you've got no blinks right now, and he's mid-wave animation. And if you get waved there, like, that's really problematic.
That's just recall.
Yeah, it's recall.
Immediately.
Oh, and false bomb here. Like, this was panicked, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought he was gonna be on the ground. But
when
that's
should
my
you
fault.
also Wu-Yang, do you think?
If I was gonna go for the pulse, I should have done it on the blink immediately, instead of starting to shoot him and then deciding to do it.
Yeah, right. So like
when he hits
immediately
shift.
blink and then pulse, right? When
Yeah.
specific?
Or I could have waited until he didn't have shift.
Sure.
But
How easy is it sticking a Wu-Yang when he's jumping?
not easy.
Yeah.
He's very fast.
Very fast, right? So I think again, waiting for a shift to play out is probably the most reasonable thing to do here. There's some cases where because he's jumping, it's a little bit predictable because obviously he can't, there's only so much strafing he can do midair. So I wouldn't mind if you wanted to pulse in midair too. But yeah, you can play a little bit slow here is the point. Again, this feels very forced. Okay. Draw. Back behind's okay. The melee, oh my word.
Yeah.
Like just sort of like
No, that's
Foxy reload there a little bit. Sure, we get the kill eventually, but yeah, a little bit scuffed there. A little bit scuffed, right? I think it would have been easier had you just taken a second. Literally one more second to get an extra blink. Last, get better timing, and your engage is going to be cleaner. For sure. That could have been, in fact, you could have been recalled, you could have had your recall forced out before that, after the Weang waves you. Or if the Weang waves you. But yeah. Okay, so more patience on the engage, mainly.
yeah.
Alright. We'll see you next fight. Okay. Okay. I think that's fine. 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 I don't mind this. I would stay here just because we're a little bit more hidden. But it's not a big complaint. If they just took a round, you're cooked. Okay. So when should we go in here?
I was late. I spent too long.
Yeah. I mean, you can see Orion, right?
I think I was like looking for someone. Like I didn't know where someone was, but I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I mean,
it might have been the Tracer or something. Where I'm like,
yeah, because like, you can hit Tracer to your left, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing Orion here. Obviously, in the game, you can see Orion, so you know that.
Yeah, I know my Ryan's there.
Right.
I needed to start shooting the wing now.
Yeah, like now would be a good time to go in, right? Or maybe a little bit like here, like you could maybe blink in once and then go for the Wuyang and then bait the wave. So as in, you could blink in once, play cover, and to bait the wave, or you could blink here, bait the wave, play cover here. So either one's fine there, regardless. But yeah, either way, you need to engage now.
Yeah,
like this is way too long. We just let the Wuyang walk past us. Yeah, way too long there on the engagement timing. Unfortunately. Okay. Get back up. You almost get waved there. Sure. I appreciate the discipline there, but yeah, it's too late. Too little too late. Timing's just too late there. I get a trade. Unlucky. Yeah. What made you so hesitant? Was it the Tracer?
Uh, yeah, I think I was just wondering where they were, and I hadn't noticed that they were on the left.
And that's fine. Like, you don't need to notice it on the left, right? You've got ears. You have sound, right? Like, I'm not saying you've been able to see that necessarily, especially if you are hiding here as well.
I think I just missed it in the moment. It was just failed to notice it and spent too long trying to figure out where they were before I went in.
Right. I wouldn't even be that scared of the Tracer anyway. So like, you can engage into this. If she goes onto you, you've got a Mega here. You'll be fine, right? Like, you have an escape path to play. So yeah. Okay. And bear in mind, by the way, if Tracer is gonna come at you, again, the counterplay is A, not fighting that, as I just mentioned, and B, you've got Ashe, right? Like, your comp, she does not want a Tracer on her at all. And in fact, if your comp plays the longer fight, your Ashe will get more value over time than the enemy team, if she's able to stay alive. So in a way, you kind of want the Tracer to go onto you, if you can avoid her, which you can, because you obviously got the Mega to play. Okay. We'll see next fight. Alright. This bit of the map is really hard.
Yeah, I really struggle with this. Oftentimes I'll swap to a hit scan for this section, just because...
Yeah, I would even suggest Reaper is Reaper's really good here. Because it allows you to just play underneath, especially into Tracer. Because it allows you to just play underneath these high grounds, and there's so many positions where you can hide as Reaper. This being one of them, this being one of them, this area being one of them. You can TP behind the boxes too. So Reaper's like a really good situational pick here. But yeah. Could we ever avoid this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we hear flights, right? Hear flights. I think there's a reasonable chance we can avoid that. For sure. Okay. All team fight's basically done. Wuyang, sure. Nothing crazy. Sure. Fine. Okay, we'll see her. Staging's fine. Sure. I'm just like, what value are we getting here? Is my thing. Like, your Ryan's really pushed up, right? He's really, really aggressive, right? What are you engaging are going to change about that? Like, you shooting from this high ground, you know? It's not going to do much. You're just going to give up your position. If Ryan feeds, Ryan feeds. You know, there's not much you can do about it. Sure. That Echo just takes it. Wow. I'm shocked that no one looks at you here. How does no one look at you?
Kiri does in a moment and I die for it.
Like, Echo does not give two shits.
Yeah.
Not as the Wuyang too, apparently.
Down Ryan.
And then Kiri just dinks you twice, right? So, like, this is just... It's partially down to timing, partially, because I don't think I wouldn't go in here at all. Right? I mean, I get your Ryan's getting pressured really, really hard here, so maybe it's reasonable. But in theory, at least, you would want to play here and hide, obviously. Wait for your team to come back. But yeah, I guess timing is fine considering how much pressure your Ryan's under. And also, after you get a kill, you gain awareness, right? Look around you so you know what to do afterwards. And I see so many Tracer players will get their first kill, and they'll do this bit fine. Like you get the first kill, whatever, right? And they either do nothing afterwards or they die immediately. And we've seen that twice, right? Like we saw against the Echo on first point defense, you got the kill, and then you did nothing afterwards. Now we're seeing the opposite, where you get the kill and then you just die immediately from the Kiriko because you're not aware of who's around you. Yeah. Okay. See here. Okay. Sure. Whoa. Okay, we are really panicked here. So timing's okay. I guess pressure's okay, right? I don't really mind this pressure on Queen. She's half HP. I get it. Where should you go from here? What are your options?
Continue rotating right, or I could go. No, I think right's the right call. Like I could go into the room across, but it's sort of awkward because I have to drop and then I can blink through.
Yeah, so we're just playing a little bit too aggro here, basically. Right? I think we're greeting the clip and we're reloading out an open space, right? Which means that we get shot by Echo, sadly. A little bit too turn on Queen, and then we end up panicking this pulse bomb. I think I've said to you before too. Whenever you panic as Tracer, all your micro goes out the window, and I think the panic that was caused there was by you getting shot by Echo on great HP, and now we're going for this really risky, not risky, but like really panicked pulse or really rushed pulse bomb. And we get recourse out too, which is not great. There's more cover to the right side. Literally just one more second about playing to the right side, and you will not get reforced out, and you'll not have to waste pulse bomb. But yeah. Those 2 blinks there are probably unnecessary. Like, this clip's fine. The clip's fine. Like, you forced, what's his name? What's the dash, right? You forced dash from the Yang. That's fine, right? But, like, why are we double blinking to the right side here? You know? That's a little bit. I mean, what causes you to do this?
I just want to try to get an angle on them at that moment. I should have just used 1 blink. But I guess I might have felt like I was still in open space after the first one, so I went for the double.
Yeah, I don't.
But I definitely could have just used 1.
I don't quite know. I think it's even here, right? Like, you're fine with them stacking up or stacking up on one angle, right? Like, you're fine with them playing really far back. You haven't got to force this engage again, right? If they're doing nothing, that's fine. They're doing nothing. You can shoot queen in the meantime. They're playing really far away. So just chillax, right? Play slow. You haven't got to force everything all the time. Go fine. Sure. Fine. You go all the way out. Okay, wow. Again, you get a kill, right? And then we're doing nothing now.
Yeah.
Doing nothing, you know? Like, I get we're 60 HP, right? I get that we're 60 HP. But it doesn't really matter if we care about the aggro that we're taking, or we care about people that are looking at us, right? No one's looking at you. Not a single soul. And no one cares that you're here. You just killed the Kiriko, right? Only person that could be looking at you is Queen, but she's clearly not, and you saw that after you got the Kiriko. Wuyang wasn't on your screen here, so he dashed away actually. You're fine, right? So yeah, the aggro you're taking.
I don't need to get out.
There's no one's looking at you, right? Your visual aggro is fine. You can play slow, is what I'll say, right? Again, back to that graph thing. Just chillax. You can just stay here, shoot the queen. That's it, right? That's all you need to be doing. And then maybe you can blink and back into Kitsune to get heals, right, if you really need to. But yeah. Okay. Again, I'll even say that's beginning awareness too, right? You have no idea after you kill the Tracer, or sorry, Kiri rather, you've got no idea where anyone's at. So you blink out of panic. Whereas if you just looked around you and would have realized like no one cares where you're at, you probably would have stayed there and you would have been just fine. Or you would have been more okay with staying on that angle. But yeah. Okay, Tracer's just dead. Sure. Ryan just pins in. Fine. Okay.
This is.
I don't even mind going
oh
for the
my
skill.
god! I can't believe I did this.
So I don't actually mind going for the echo. It's just how you do it.
I don't mind going for it. It's the fact that I just triple blink at her.
Yeah, and out right in front of her instead of again actually using the stairs here as cover. To hedge your bets. Really greedy.
This is just.
Yeah, and then you and Urian die here too, and they have spawn advantage as well. Again, like your team get 2 kills here, and now we flip flopped. You know, last fight we were back on the spectrum, right? We doing nothing here, right? And now we got 2 kills, and now we're back over here, right? And we just keep flip flopping between these 2 spectrums all the time. Instead of realizing that we can just chillax, you know, you can probably just use 1 blink and then strafe to the right side and shoot echo. Is how you would do this.
Yeah. I definitely could have just done that and killed her.
Yeah. And then melee too. Just... Oh my word. Yeah, melee on an echo half HP. Yeah. All right, we'll see. Next fights. Okay. Yeah, you can go back side. This is I like this pathing, right? So this is a small thing, but I like this a lot. Where you're playing as far away from this corner as possible, which I like. It gives you reaction time, and it makes you safer, right? And your Arna can. So this is good. I actually like this a lot, and you're almost like getting ready to blink away in case Tracer comes here and forces a duel on you, which is good, right? So I like the discipline here. So far. Ryan goes in. Look to the right side. That blink goes slightly unnecessary, but whatever. Sure. The reforce out. Ooh. Like, you're taking a ton of aggro here, right? So you're taking Tracer and Echo aggro. Blink is fine. You get a good clip here, right? But then
I definitely could have avoided using the recall there. I probably didn't need to.
Yeah, you could double blink the left side and it'll be fine, right? And again,
it was a Kiriko.
it doesn't matter if it's Tracer or a Kiriko, but the point being here is to avoid their aggro and learning to not fight an angle. I think it's really, really important. And again, the way you do that is by 1, 2, play cover, we're fine. And we keep on to repeat. This angle's fine, right? But I think again, Tracer players don't know when to not fight an angle, and this is an example of it. Constantly wanting to fight, like leave. Whoa! How are we alive? Holy moly! We're 53 HP. Who heals us? Oh, there's only one sticky that hits us. I thought there were more stickies that hit us. Yeah, very lucky there. If that Echo had one or two more stickies, you're cooked. Yeah, it's just like we're constantly wanting to fight and get value, and we're not thinking about, hey, actually, we can play slow and we can maximize our value over a prolonged period of time, and by the threat or by the nature of you being here, that affects how they want to play. If you haven't been fully cleared yet, they can't play that aggressively, because then you're just gonna re-peek and you're gonna aggress onto them anyway.
Yeah, they don't want to walk down main past like the windows there, because I'll just.
You can think of it like psychological pressure almost. About if you're here, you're like you have some certain a level of aura basically where you're making them scared about pushing this angle here essentially. But yeah. Okay. And obviously we're down main, which is not great. We blink straight into a Kiriko in open space. Wow. Oh my word! I mean, this blink melee shit is gonna me crazy. So when do we meet? We melee Kiriko on basically full HP because we were shooting commanding shout HP. If we just blinked after we shot the Kiriko, we wouldn't have taken the kunai. So the blink melee is just that's why it's a bad habit. It's just it keeps you longer in open space. You would have avoided the kunai, and you just not meleeed the Kiriko. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's definitely something I need to fix.
Yeah. It's something that is like the only way you can fit. It's like the a similar example like using is forgetting to use Discord and Harmony Orb before popping Transcendence. Like it's a really obvious tip that honestly most Zen players already know, but it's something that people will just forget to do. And the only way you end up doing that or making it a habit as Zen is going into quick play and literally just focusing on orbing before you trans over and over and over and over again before it becomes subconscious and you just do it as a habit, right? And it's kind of the same thing as Blink Immediately. Like the only way you're gonna root it out of you as a muscle memory habit
is to just play games thinking don't blink melee people for no reason.
Yeah, even if that means that your other micro goes out the window. Like that's the only way it's gonna be fixed. The good news is that because every Tracer player I've coached, like literally every Tracer player I've done a session with, always does it at least once in a session. The good news is that if you are able to not do it, you'll be ahead of like a 99.9% of Tracer in terms of like not blink meleeing when it's not necessary to do so. And again, it's such a bad habit. And you can get you reforced out, you blinks forced out. Even tier 3, tier 2 Tracers still do it. It's a really bad habit. That's the good news of it.
Chunk of the time it'll just get me killed outright because I'll blink in and eat a Kiri headshot.
Right, you know? Like we just saw there, and we also saw the Echo at the beginning of first point, a defense too, where a better Echo could potentially flick around and force a rig out just by you wanting to greet the melee. But yeah, it's maybe more reasonable if you've got the perk. But even then, I wouldn't suggest it because it's gonna reinforce a bad habit essentially. But yeah, let's look at this duel here. Okay, so we stripped to the right side, which is good. And not fighting Kiriko, which is nice. Okay. Blink once here. Sure. I don't mind going in open space here specifically. Mostly because no one else is fighting us here. It's only a Kiriko. And there's not really any other place to blink to. Like maybe is the only other place we can blink to?
Yeah, I could have gone left and played around that cover. That might have been a bit better.
Yeah. That would have been a bit better here, of course. And let's see where else you go to afterwards. You can do it again. You do it again. I mean, in this case, she's wall climbing, so it's more reasonable still. Okay.
She gets away by going up top.
That's fine. If she wants to avoid you and play really far back, that's okay. Like then you can just burn the queen. Is what you're doing, right? Pulse is actually reasonable. Sure. Okay, this is cover against queen. To be honest.
Blink too late.
Yeah. Like you've got a blink here. There's no excuse to be taking it. Okay. He gets full start because of the axe, and that's probably gonna be defense, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe not. Seems low. Big pin by Orion. Then good. Okay. I don't mind that. I don't really necessarily mind that open space bit because you are able to like blink here in time or like be call out in time. A bit greedy, but nothing crazy.
I do feel like I could have just died. But...
Yeah, like you're peeking 3 people at once, right? Again, it relates back to that thing of like pushing slowly versus inting and feeding. I mean, if you were to push slowly, okay, a little bit after Queen dies. So here, what are your options?
I could have double blinked into the left side room.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're already here, right?
Yeah.
But from here, 1, 2, and we come here over here. Obviously Tracer's here, but that's fine. You can fire Tracer, that's okay. And then you can probably steal the Mega if it's still there. I don't mind if you get reforced out too, right? The point being here is that you're pushing your advantage in a disciplined way, even if you get reforced out, because you've got such a big advantage. You've killed the Queen. So yeah, the main thing is minimizing your ability to feed. Okay, and that blink that's fine. Like that blink that was up to the little two
I quite like
boxes.
that one.
Yeah, that was a good blink.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. It's fine. Do you run pins in? Sure. Fine. Timing's good. This is a little we're doing too much. Whoa.
Yeah, I get forced out there right then.
Right, so like this, you and your Ryan coming up over here, and this is good. This is pushing slowly. P.S. This is inting, and this is where we get into inting territory right now. Right?
Yeah.
So we're slightly going into inting territory here, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god. Like a little bit scary there. Okay. See here. Okay. Sure. We're forcing this.
Yeah,
So,
I am.
what makes you want to blink all the way over?
Here and waited for Queen.
Yeah.
I think I realized that they were all playing, like they were all going to that right side, and just the Queen was on main. And I wanted to go shoot them, so I went over there. I shouldn't have just spent 2 blinks doing it.
Yeah, right. Like we're again, the ability to not fire on Tracer is something that like it's similar to Blink Melee in that every Tracer player I know wants to fight. And it takes a lot of discipline to be like, okay, I see Echo over here. I know the team have out-rotated me or going by the Mega Room. It takes discipline to be like, I'm not gonna fight this. I'm gonna actually play slow, play this area, let them walk into my Rhine a little bit, give them a little bit of space, and then once the enemy team start playing like around about here, sort of area, maybe a bit wider like this, right? Then I'm gonna start engaging from this sort of area here, right? So it takes this discipline to know when to not fight someone. And obviously here, A, it's too dangerous because you're having to go in open space, and B, it's unreasonable because even if you were to fight Tracer here, you're having to fight a Kiriko, a Wu Yang, and even an Echo Queen too. So you're constantly at a disadvantage here. And I would expect a reforce out, just by looking at this. There we go, right?
Yeah.
Completely unnecessary. Okay. Somehow you're able to reach backline. How are you able to reach backline here? Where's that Queen? Queen just shouts into her team.
She's running at my backline from the looks of it.
Right, maybe, yeah. Your Ryan pins him really aggressively too, which helps. Yeah, so that, I mean, partially your Ryan does tries to make up for you being really aggressive there, at least. So it's not as bad, but it's still somewhat mistimed it, of course. Yeah, Kiriko gets a force Kitsune.
Yeah, Queen was running up my backline.
Sure. Ace the pincer from behind is good. Or reasonable. Sure. Fine. Play slower, sure. I don't mind that. Fine. Sure. Okay. They're a little bit more reasonable towards the end, mainly because you had a good angle from behind. With that initial blink down to the Tracer, that's a no-go. Okay. I would just say generally it's nice to like switch up your angle because you've been playing this angle for the last like 3 fights.
Yeah,
right,
no, you're right. I should have started playing on the left maybe.
Okay. You see here? Hey, do not fight this. Slam comes out and now you can peek. Nice. Sure. Fine.
I I just blinked into a wall and stood there.
Yeah, it's a little bit clunky, right? But I think in terms of the timing,
Yeah.
A, your angle's good. B, timing's good. C, pulse is reasonable. Reasonable pulse. And you do like AFK here for a little bit, right? Which is not particularly ideal, of course.
I'm not. I'm really not sure why. I don't know.
Right, where can you blink to, actually?
I could have just blinked forward one.
Yeah,
and
right.
been around the corner behind them.
And it's it's counterintuitive because it feels more dangerous blinking behind them like this because you're
Yeah,
I'm
but
behind
it
the
would
enemy
have
team,
been
right?
better.
Yeah, but it would
Easily.
have been better, right? You would have taken less aggro. In fact, you probably would have avoided the queen ult, and you get a good angle here, right? And there's a pack here as well, right? So in case you actually do need the HP. But yeah. Okay. Sure. Fine. I think that's a little bit unnecessary. Nice. Oh yeah, you see that. But your team's dead there. There's not too much else you could have done. Barring, of course, the blink behind after the Ryan slam. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see here. On defense. Alright.
Yeah, I am telling myself to chill out here. I don't know if I immediately do better at it, but we'll see.
Alright. See here. Okay. So what's the issue with this ball thing? Like immediately.
It's just immediately out in the open.
Yeah, right?
Like,
so
their entire team can essentially see me. I didn't realize that the Torb was here now, and therefore there was a turret shooting me.
right.
I should have just taken it a bit slower and checked out, what their comp was, where people were.
Right, just
first.
do some basic scouting. I think I mentioned earlier like this was good pathing, like on your defense here, where you're coming out here because you're unseen. And of course, this is the exact opposite, right? Where
This is the exact,
right, it's the exact opposite thing. So even if there wasn't a top turret here, you're still gonna get forced out by some kind of hit scan or some kind of enemy team player here on high ground or something like that. Regardless of your actual pathing. So yeah, we forced out there, not great. Okay, sure, pathing's much better. Yeah, but obviously it's too little too late now, right? Like you could have already been here like 10 seconds ago, been in position for when your Ryan engages, or when they engage into your Ryan. But because we're taking our time and we had to be forced out, Ryan dies sadly. Okay. You can stop pressure, but don't get forced out here. Sure.
I fully expected the Wu Yang to shoot at me from the top, but he just doesn't. So
Maybe he wasn't there in time.
yeah.
See here? Look at my Ryan because you're in a good position right now, but Ryan is there. Okay. Keep overlays on for now. Okay. Turn it off now. Yeah, so Ryan's by the choke. Oh my word. Okay. This is like hard for Tracer, right? I'm not gonna say this is easy because the actual the map geometry does not favor you. It's very narrow, long sight lines. There's not too many open flanks for you to take, right? It is somewhat hard to do on Tracer.
I don't actually usually play her on the map, but we were having the session, so I'm like,
right.
I may as well try to get in a couple extra games.
And yeah, you do get here eventually, right? Which is ideal because you get behind them. I guess my thing here is like against good players.
I get there and then I immediately give it up to.
Yeah, and then we go again, right? And you get the carry kill eventually. There's two things I've got an issue with, right? The first thing is if you want to go behind, sure, but we need to go. We just commit. We can't shoot here. We need to go all the way and outmaneuver them, right? We are technically running a more mobile comp, or you outmaneuver every single character in this comp, right? Every single character. So you should be able to get behind them quicker. So the first thing. Second thing is the melee. You just melee there for no reason.
Yep.
Third thing is of course re-peaking this, right? And I don't mind engaging from here. Of course, this is the entire reason that we're here to begin with, right? But I guess my only complaint is you should be expecting a Wuyang or a Kiri to peek you here. Like that should be happening.
Yeah, I really thought they were going to. I didn't expect them to be.
Right.
Like I thought they were gonna walk into the hallway and be shooting at me there, and I'd be able to get in on their side.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And if that was to happen, right, then you can drop down and then you can do this kind of thing, right? You can do this ring around the rosy thing. If they work to peeking this angle, or you can blink back and play wider and then go into the top instead. That would have been fine as well. Or just blink back and not fight this and keep this angle, right? That would have been fine as well. But yeah, again, I bring this up because again, this relates back to the idea of not fighting, or relating back to the idea of not fighting when you're at a disadvantage or not forcing a play. Because again, this feels very forced, and we get lucky because when we engage into this, every single character is full HP. I think it's a Ryan Fire Strike or a kunai here from your own Kiriko.
Someone hits a shot on
Someone does
carry
something
and makes
right
it work,
that allows you to
but
do the Kiri. So, but in
it shouldn't
principle,
have worked out.
exactly right. In principle, that shouldn't have worked out. We should have just played slower. Like, get the fuck back and don't fight this. Is the key thing. Unless, of course, that maybe the Kiriko hit the shot initially before we went in. That's fine, right? Or there's a Fire Strike that hits someone to half HP. Then you can go for the kill because there's a trigger to do so, right? But there was no trigger there at all. Everyone was full HP. Okay, sure. So that's immediately better here, right? The fact that we're scouting here a little bit. This is the only time that I've seen you like sort of like you did like a little jiggle peek here off the ledge a little bit. That's good. That shows me you're trying to be aware of who's pushing you, and more of that is what's needed. The entire game basically. You even wait here a little bit, right? You even wait here a little bit. You expect them to come left side, which is good. Draw. Oh, you had V there? You had not. Yeah, you didn't have V, unfortunately.
I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to be fair, I wouldn't expect the Neko coming here either way, to be honest. This is reaction time against the Neko coming. But yeah, at least we got 2 kills.
I mentioned it earlier, but like, I do that thing where I just start shooting at someone instead of thinking about blinking.
Right.
Because if I blink to the left and back, I'm okay.
Right.
But
and funnily enough, I think had you just your choices in the Echo
I could have hung out there too.
Yeah, exactly, right? You haven't necessarily got to drop here. Okay. See, hopefully that's enough. That's enough. Cool. We get that first cap. We'll see here in the next fight. Okay. I'm not close now. All things good. Sure. Leave, good. Fine, double check, fine, yeah. Alright, sure. Okay, I in this case I don't mind fighting this because your Ryan is going really hard in. Normally I'd say just go up the stairs, right? But considering your Ryan is like really going in, sure. But yeah, you really struck a Ruyang here sadly, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, we double blink, which is what sort of discombobulates us. And then no blinks into Ruyang, which is not great. And then yeah, we just don't blink in time or recall in time. Fortunate. I mean, what caused you to double blink here?
So I saw him start to use shift, and I thought I could use a second blink to like get myself in a spot where I could still see him. And so I do that second blink, and then look over to where I think he's gonna be, but he's jumped, and so he's not on my screen.
Right. Because again, I think you can play slower here, right? Let your Ryan do the bulk of the work, and even forces a dash first before you even want to duel him, right? So if you just like peek there, it's like one more second of patience. Again, one more second of patience, right? And then he dashes away, and then the duel becomes way easier because he's got no dash anymore, and he's easier to track because of course he's not gonna dash out of you. But yeah. Okay, we'll do a quick summary, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
Okay.
All right, we'll use this wall. Okay, and actually, I'll bring up. I forget to link this otherwise. This video is going to be useful in terms of like not fighting. That name.
Yeah. Have you talked about the no blink melee thing before? Because that one's new to me.
Not with you specifically.
Not with me. Yeah.
But it's become more of a thing where I've just sort of realized, like in the last 2, maybe even 3 months, that Tracer players just do it all the time.
Yeah.
So it is. Yeah, that's the thing with the.
I actively taught myself to do it because I thought it was.
Like no,
correct,
it's like propaganda. It's like Tracer propaganda because everyone in 2018 to 2020 is like, oh yeah, like blink melee to finish a target, right? And then everyone just does it out of muscle memory, thinking that they're finishing off a target, and in actuality, what they're doing is meleeing a character that's half HP in an open space, using a blink and getting reforced out 90% of the time. And it's like, yeah, it's obviously not great, you know. But yeah, I think first thing, go on.
I find a lot of the time I want to blink after using a clip. right? Like I fired the
Yeah,
clip
yeah.
or I
That's
fired
that's the
half the
cue,
clip,
right? Yeah,
and I
yeah.
want to blink because I'm going to get shot if I don't.
Hmm.
Because even if there's cover there, it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it behind it in time or if they're gonna peek a little bit wider. So I
Right.
want to blink to avoid damage, and a lot of the time I just find myself going, okay, well, I'll blink close to him and I'll melee, and then I'll use a second blink
Yeah,
to get to another spot.
yeah.
Uh,
Sometimes that can be okay, like sometimes, but most often not than not, it's just better to prioritize cover rather than sneaking in 40 damage that might even force out your recall to begin with. And it makes your reload longer too, because if you blink and then
yeah,
melee, then of course you're not reloading. Um, so yeah, interruptive reload animation. Generally, the reward isn't worth it. The reward is only worth it if it gets the kill or forces out a recall. Um, but yeah, I think the first thing is um I'll say like not fighting. Um or like
don't always have to fight for an angle.
yeah, and the examples I'm
That's
thinking of
that's
is that
another one because I've always thought that that was sort of my job,
right,
But I guess it's a way of doing it without having to actually waste all those resources.
yeah, it's more so just like you're forcing it really, really, really hard,
Yeah,
rather than it coming not naturally to you, but you doing it in a more disciplined way. Like for example, the Echo duel on second point defense, like the Echo duel, for example, like you can. I'm not saying to avoid the Echo, right? I mean, you can if if he's supported by a Kiri, right? In fact, you probably should leave the Echo if she's supported by a Kiri or a Wu Yang, because you're getting 1v2 there. But I'm saying to blink back to give yourself more time with the duel. Um, so take it in a more disciplined way. Is the point. And give
yeah,
yourself time. And the third point defense example, of course, was the Tracer. Um, when you like blinked into the Tracer and then had to reforce that afterwards. Um, and yeah, I recommend the video is a good example of like nodding to not fight, and it applies to the Genji Tracer. Not just it's not it's an idea that isn't specific to just Tracer, but often it will be on Tracer. Like Genjis do it as well, Winston's do it as well, Dooms do it as well. Any dive character really, it's really important to learn that idea about not fighting because DPS players love to take duels and fight all the time, even if it's not in their favor. So it's important to like not do that. Second thing is linked onto that, which is patience or timing. So, like the last fight on second point defense, for example, like 1 more second, like charge up a blink, and then wait for your Orion is really important. And then also the ability to just regain awareness after you get a
yeah,
kill.
that's a big one.
After
Not
I
just immediately running for a pack or
exactly right,
trying to
like
hide.
that similar to how you dumping a clip causes you to melee afterwards. Getting a kill should cause you to look around. It's the same idea. It's the same cue. And the last thing is, of course, micro. I'll say it broadly, but I mean most of it is melee. And then also the cover stuff will get better over time. Um,
Yeah, I think it has been better than it was
yeah,
before, but it's
for
still a
sure,
long way
yeah.
from.
Like you were using like even the Wu Yang, right? Like you were using the statue against the Wu Yang here, for example. Like you blink once, blink left. That was a good blink, right? And even against the Wu Yang, I'll say here too, like Wu Yang,
I mean
Wu Yang.
that last fight we watched, I did try to use the wall as cover, but the bending shots kind of.
Yeah. It's slightly annoying, and even then against Wu Yang, it's a similar idea about can I force this guy's dash and then fight him afterwards instead of having how can I force the duel against Wu Yang every single time. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I think if you force dash and wave, it becomes so much easier. Dash is the main one, right? You can probably get a good clip onto Wu Yang, and then you'll force a dash. But yeah, if you're unscouted onto Wu Yang too, like you're behind a Wu Yang, blink once, you get a really good clip onto Wu Yang. What is he probably going to do?
uh, he's gonna turn and try to wave me.
Yeah, right. Because if he's low HP, he needs to wave. So if you do get a good
Yeah,
clip, expect the wave. Because he needs to live
it's the
basically.
same thing as like on a nade or
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah,
Suzu, all those.
basically. Of course, with Wave, it's more similar to, I guess, Nade. Nade's easy to outplay because the radius of Nade is quite small compared to Wave.
Yeah. She
Um,
you can make her choose whether or not to help herself or try to
exactly, yeah.
damage you.
Um, but yeah, those are the three main things. Any clarifications, queries, stuff like that?
Um, so previous stuff that we've talked about, mid fight rotations, is I guess a lot of that's still an issue with mid fight rotations because I try to force the fights.
Yeah, it's linked into that, right? I think a lot of the
Yeah,
time, like generally, your pathing is fairly decent, and like your ability to take an angle is actually pretty decent too. Um, it's more so what you do on that angle and the timing of it too. Because often I haven't actually
yeah,
had an issue with your pathing. Like the fact that, for example, you came around here was good. It's just that next level of like, how do I approach this door now that someone's here? Obviously with most tracer players, they'll, in gold or plat or whatever, they'll just go down main and they'll forget to take this angle to begin with, right? But the next level is like, okay, if I take this duel, how do I take it? How do I take it in a disciplined way that doesn't jeopardize my CDs and what? Um, but
yeah.
but yeah. Anything else?
Um, um, hmm. Obviously, we've got the blink melee thing to work on. Mm, God, what else have we talked about before? Like, I
Um, I think maybe some
the
pulse bomb stuff.
timing thing was, yeah, there was some pulse bomb stuff, which is still an issue. I haven't really worked on it yet. Uh, I've sort of been focused on the other stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
I would try and advise not bite off more than you can chew because honestly, pulse swim isn't a big factor until you get to like GM. You can get to a high rank without needing to focus on hitting every pulse known to man. Um, but but yeah,
yeah, I mean it's nice to hit them, but it's not the biggest thing.
yeah.
Um, what was the other thing? It was I think that's pretty much everything that we've talked about before. It was like, expecting enemy
Right.
reactions, which I'm better about now. I have
Right.
focused on that.
And also, I
Um,
think some stuff on like real measurements or making sure you don't blink, you don't waste blinks when reaching a target, which most of the time you are fine with.
yeah.
Um,
Occasionally I'll flick it up,
Occasionally, yeah, but
but
sometimes you'll need to like you know take a long flank and use blinks, which is fine. But that was again relatively okay. Um,
um,
but yeah,
the timing issue, I think it's sort of flip flopped because I was too early before,
right,
and then a lot of the times in this game I was too late because I'd take too long in a rotation.
yeah. I think that another
Yeah,
example, when you were over here and you started to like, as you saw the Ruang over here, right, and then you started to go over here,
yeah,
like that's an example.
and then my Ryan
Um,
died for it.
yeah, right. Um, but yeah, I will say like again, you can in that case it was fine to like go through it because Ruang wasn't looking at you. Um, but yeah, I think the patience like again, if you got low blinks and look at your front line, like, look at the Bob in that case with that fight with Orion, sure. But yeah, um, anything
Yeah.
else?
Uh, I think that's just about everything that I've really talked about or that